Welcome, alumni friends. My name's Jim Wright. I'm the Director of Alumni Services for Gateway Foundation. Again, I'm so grateful that you joined us today. We have so much fun coming up with recovery topics. And today, I'm going to share a little bit about service is key in recovery. I do think that, boy, the people I worked with early in my own recovery, they were just so ready to share their story. And I thought, why are you so open? Why do you want to do that? So at the end of the session today, please send in questions so I can try to answer them for you or ask you a question back. That's usually how it works. So anyway, moving on to the topic, service is key in recovery. Number one, we all need to serve. To what level of service do you think you need to participate in a recovery group, a home group? Before all the meetings changed in regards to smoking, people used to say, go out, clean out the ashtrays, make the coffee, put the chairs back. Maybe you could be part of the literature sales and different things like that, or just come in and help clean. And I was like, well, is that what we do? And he said, think about it. So, service, is a big deal. I know we do that specifically at Gateway Inpatient, our residential buildings, our outpatient services. So, that's a big part. So that's number one. Number two, host a meeting. Yes, you can host a meeting at your home. You can host a meeting at your church. You could actually do that probably at a building that's maybe you can rent for an Alano club or something like that. So it really doesn't matter. I think the best meetings I ever attended were probably the ones in someone's home where you could come in and do a study, look at all the 12-step literature and different things like that. And so I think that's a real important. Number three, when? Now you go into some form of service now. It gets us out of ourselves. Recovery is that we need to do this together. And I want to share a little bit about a story that I was actually a volunteer, and I was elected to from the central office that was in Lafayette, Louisiana. And there was about 200,000 people in that particular community. So we had a lot of people coming in, that came out from their treatment centers and hospitals and actually 12-step groups. So I was actually elected the events coordinator. So I was in charge of recruiting newcomers or people coming out of treatment, out of being released from jail, or they were in probation, to do basic things. And there were 4 main events that I was part of. And I remember going back to the one that we did in the summertime. Well, if you know anything about Southern Louisiana, it is hot. It's hot and humid, usually in the 90s. And so I was able to secure a big pavilion, the biggest pavilion in this park that was in Lafayette, Louisiana. It was really a great setting. And I remember putting that together. Well, guess what? I had to organize 4 or 5 different committees. And then we had a number of people that were coming from my home group that actually had never done anything before. And they said, how do I serve? I said, well, get the broom and start sweeping. Set up some tables. Do you want to be part of the food committee? You want to be part of our prizes? We always did a raffle. We did a half and half or 50-50. We did all kinds of things to get people committed to the meeting. So anyway, I just remember when we did this meeting, it was like intense because we had over 150 people show up, including families, for the cookout. And we did a speaker meeting. We did the countdown. We shared milestones. It was phenomenal. And I remember towards the end of the meeting, we had all the newcomers, right? The people, everybody showed up, which was great to volunteer and participate this way. So when I think of now, I mean, that is something that you can get involved with. We're going to do events like this, Gateway Alumni, a reunion this coming October, or anything related to our locations. We just need to do that together. So where do you do this? That's part of my story. Number 4, anywhere. Again, you can do this. A lot of times it kind of originates out of what we're doing in our outside meetings for Gateway and our home group. Number 5, you know what? We need to stay sober. You go to any length to stay sober. Again, this is, I was just taught early. It was suggested strongly for me to participate again and serve. How do you stay healthy in this recovery? What do you do to get your medicine? I always look at it that way. This morning's meeting, we talked a lot, and I heard so much about how people were grateful for their own recovery. And, this woman in particular was talking about coming back again, and she had 8 months sober. And, what we were all doing was clapping, because she wanted to do that. And then guess what? She asked Jim, how do I get connected? How do I serve? I said, well, why don't you get on Facebook Live today? Because we are talking specifically about this. So anyway, when I go back and I recap this, number 1, we all need to serve. Serve in a recovery group, your home group. Part of Gateway. Stay connected to us. Number 2, host a meeting. Hey, have you ever thought about setting up your own 12-step meeting or a meeting for the people that you were treated with? That's okay. 2 or more. Have you ever heard that? 2 or more makes a meeting. Number 3, when? Now. We are doing it virtually, aren't we? We're doing it face-to-face. We are definitely reopening some of our facilities for outpatient. We know that it's a really, really tough time with this pandemic. But guess what? You need to do it. Number 4, you can recover and you can have a meeting anywhere. The best meetings I remember were at the at the Lake Michigan, right? Lake Michigan. We have a number of parks that you could go to and just hanging out with 10 people and talking about a topic like this or something from our 12-step books or just whatever's on your mind. I love the alumni check-ins that I participate in with our Gateway groups. They're really, really good because they're honest. They're, very transparent, and it's something we need to do together. And then number 5, we need to stay sober. How do you stay sober? I believe that the timing for us to do that is incredibly important. We have to do it right daily. We stay within the 24 hours. It's a matter, I think service and recovery and the key to these are just staying consistent with what you think you need to do that. I've heard so many of our alumni over the last month specifically talking about this. So we definitely have information in regards to if you need help today, there's a phone number. We're also going to put up our Gateway app, which is just going crazy. We have our alums talking to each other and helping each other, and going back into a service. So these things are, again, important for me. They're important for you. So just kind of wrapping this up, service is key in recovery. Does anybody have a question for me? Or do you, have something else on your mind that you would like to ask? This is the time to do it. So if you have a question, please send that through our chat box on Facebook Live. That'd be great. So, while we're waiting for questions, I was thinking about another way to serve. And this is just, it goes hand in hand with we all need to serve. I remember a lady being able to lead this meeting. She had maybe a year sober, and I was sober about 90 days. Wow. There was a happening with her. She came up to me and she said after the meeting, which was on a Monday at 12 noon, she says, "You're ready to lead the meeting." And I was like, "What? What do you mean I'm ready to leave the meeting?" So she said, "No, here's our format. This is what we're doing. You can be here next Monday at 12. That'll be great." And then I remember calling my sponsor after the fact. He said, "What did we talk about service and staying connected?" I was like, "Oh, okay." So guess what? I led that meeting for 90 days. And then I did exactly the same thing with another volunteer that was willing to come on. So, but anyway, I don't know if we have any questions. I don't think we do today, but thank you again. We are definitely going to have we invited a guest for one of our Springfield alums. And she is, her name's Barbara, and she's going to go on and share her story next Friday. And please come on, and we will continue to make this as fun as possible. Otherwise, please, all of you have a safe and healthy weekend. Thank you for coming on today.